Good day. Today we're going through SQL Chapter 1, and I'm here with my navigator Asibu.
Hello guys.
So, let's firstly talk about what SQL is, and also like the tool that we use to write our SQL code and make those commands. So, basically, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's the language you use to communicate with databases. So we use SQL to add new data into a database, read or search for data, update the data, delete it, create and manage tables, views, and indexes, set rules for how data should be stored. It's basically just giving instructions to the database and also retrieving data from that database and stuff like that. So this is an example of the code for SQL to retrieve data from it. So Postgres SQL, this is the tool we use for our database management. So it's basically a database system, and this system stores and manages data using SQL. So all the databases that we have are on this system over here. So we basically just installed this and got it running so we can create our databases on this system. So that's basically what SQL and Postgres SQL is. So jumping into chapter 1. So basically in chapter 1 what we did is we just created a database as well as tables and added data to that specific table we create, and also retrieve data from that table that we added data in. So firstly create a database. So as you can see here, we have our system over here, Postgres SQL. Then we have databases within our system. And firstly, in order to create a database, there's a specific command that we run, and this is the command that I ran. So this is what creates my database. So create database, and then I attach the name of the database that I'm creating. After this runs, after I execute it, then refresh, then my analysis database is over here, as you can see. Then creating a table, this is the command I run, or this is the code that I run to create the table. So this is the name of the table, teachers, and you can just guess that it's gonna store data about teachers. So this table is within my database. So over here I have all the fields, basically the columns that are going to be in my teachers table within my database. So this is the first column, which is the ID for a specific teacher, and it takes this specific data type, big serial, which helps with incrementation automatically. Then we have the first name column, which has this data type varchar, which takes characters basically. So in other words, like strings in a way, right? So if I could put it that way, but it takes characters, and here we set the maximum amount of characters to 25 for the first name of the teacher. Then we do the same with the last name column, which takes the teacher's last name with the data type varchar, setting it to 50. Then we have the school column, which is obviously going to show the school that that specific teacher is in, with the data type varchar set to 50. Then the hire date, right, as well as the salary, which takes a numeric value. So after running this, we create the table, and in order to check the table, go to our database, which is analysis, come to schemas, and then within the public folder, there's the tables over here, and we can see the teachers table that I created over here. And in my teachers table, because in my teachers table I've created all these columns, right? The ID, first name, last name, school, hire date, salary. Then I can see the columns in this columns folder, ID, first name, all the way to salary, as I have inputted in the process of creating my table. Then after that, go ahead and create, while we run this code. So I created this code, and basically it's to insert data within the table that I created for the teachers. So within the table I already have columns. Now I want to insert data into those columns. So I use insert into the name of the table that I'm inserting data into, and all the columns that I want to insert that data into directly. So first name, last name, school, hire date, salary. And it follows this strict order, and then I place values, and it basically over here, for each, this represents each teacher, and within the parentheses I place the first name, last name, the school, the date, and the salary. And all of these values will be passed to the specific columns that I've placed here. So yeah, that's all the data that I insert over here. And then after inserting that data, I can retrieve that data by running select star from the teachers table. So when I run this, right, then basically I've retrieved all the data within the teachers table. So this is basically the teachers table from my database. As you can see, here's all the data that I've inserted. So firstly, the columns that I made, the ID, first name, last name, all the way to salary, and then inserting that data into those columns using the insert into method. After that, it inserts all that data that I've placed by placing these values, as you can see over here. Then yeah, I can see that data or that table because of this command. And then this is just another way of inserting more data to the table. And yeah, that's basically a summary of chapter 1 for SQL.